Welcome to Daily Dose Manhwa. Here, we know the struggle when you're juggling dozens of manhwa, a new chapter drops, and suddenly... Wait, where did I leave off? Sound familiar? That's where we step in. Our mission? To make sure you never feel lost again. We break down arcs, highlight key moments, and recap storylines so you can jump right back in without missing a beat. Whether you follow one manhwa or 10, we've got you covered.
Today we will talk about Murim Login. Jin Taekyung, a struggling F-rank hunter, gets trapped in a VR martial arts world, Murim, where he must grow stronger to survive. Mastering martial arts and syncing his in-game skills with reality, he rises to power, uncovering dark secrets and battling foes in both worlds. Murim Login is a thrilling blend of action, isekai, and personal growth. Learning about our main character, Jin Taekyung is a resilient and determined individual who refuses to let his F-rank status define him. Adaptable and resourceful, he uses his hunter experience and newfound martial arts skills to navigate challenges in both worlds. Loyal and protective, he values his relationships and often risks himself for others. With a sharp and strategic mind, Taekyung turns dire situations into victories, showcasing his growth as a true warrior. The story will be divided into these arcs. Arc 1, Wake Up in the Murim World. Early 2015 marked a massive event on Earth where gates and monsters started appearing everywhere. Alongside the monsters, some people awakened special abilities to fight them. These people were called Awakeners. Fast forward 5 years, humanity won the war against the monsters. But the gates didn't disappear, and Awakeners remained too. Their activities shifted to gate raiding, entering gates or dungeons to defeat monsters and collect valuable items to sell. Since dungeons had varying difficulty levels, a ranking system for both dungeons and hunters or Awakeners was created. Sadly, our main character, Taekyung Jin, was ranked the lowest, an F-rank hunter. Being an F-rank hunter wasn't easy. Especially financially. One day, Taekyung found a virtual gaming machine near his home. Instead of selling it for money, he accidentally activated it while sleeping inside the capsule of the game. Taekyung woke up in a strange place that looked like a game. Pop-up windows appeared in front of him with messages and quests. Feeling uneasy, he tried to log out, but the system wouldn't let him, leaving him stuck in the game. To log out, Taekyung had to complete some quests. He learned more about his in-game identity and discovered he was the youngest troublemaker son of the Jin Taekyung family, known as Taekyung Jin. Armed with this knowledge, he decided to head home. When he arrived, the gatekeeper wasn't too thrilled to see him, as Taekyung often returned with problems. A fight broke out, and Taekyung got beaten up badly. He woke up in the Jin family infirmary, where he was greeted by Wikyung Jin, the family head, and his eldest brother, who deeply cared for him. Once recovered, Taekyung remembered he needed to complete quests to log out. He decided to train in martial arts using the Jin family's scrolls and scriptures. Wikyung was thrilled and secretly supported his little brother. Since Taekyung had caused so much trouble in the past, openly supporting him was tricky. So, Wikyung arranged for Taekyung to train in secret in the family's solitary training confinement. In the confinement, Taekyung had everything he needed for intense training. With the system's help, his progress skyrocketed. One day, Wikyung's right-hand man, Wiping, summoned Taekyung to attend a family meeting. During the meeting, Sogun Lee from the Hangsan sect accused Taekyung of mistreating his sister and demanded compensation from the Jin family. Threatening war otherwise, Sogun offered an alternative, a duel with Taekyung. Despite objections, Taekyung accepted. To everyone's shock, he defeated Sogun Lee with ease. Arc 2, Into the War, Fight Like Crazy. After his crushing defeat by Taekyung Jin, Sogun Lee and his squad were heading back when a mysterious man poisoned and killed him. Sogun's death enraged his father, the Hangsan sect leader, who declared war on the Jin family. The war was brutal, claiming not only martial artists but also innocent civilians killed by Hang San's forces. They even hired a renowned assassin, Pil-jo, to hunt down Taekyung. While scouting, Taekyung's team clashed with Pil-jo's forces and easily defeated them. Furious over his subordinates' deaths, Pil-jo ramped up his efforts to hunt Taekyung. Eventually, they faced off in an unavoidable battle. The fight was intense. Pil-jo was far stronger, but Taekyung used his experience as a hunter and his life-or-death instincts to turn the tables and win. Taekyung woke up in the infirmary, mourning a fallen squad mate. Wiping comforted him, explaining that although the war wasn't over, the Jin family had pushed back Hang San, who lost many martial artists and 2 masters. Fully recovered, Taekyung noticed his character status had unmet requirements. After consulting Wikyung, he broke through and leveled up to first-class martial artist. With another battle looming, both sides prepared their forces. Wikyung gave Taekyung a special mission: flee if things went south. Taekyung and his squad took a separate position, but spies discovered them and attempted an ambush. The spies failed and revealed a shocking secret: the mastermind behind the war was the Grand Elder. Learning this, Taekyung and his squad rushed to join the main force to stop the Grand Elder. But just then, Taekyung was forcefully logged out of Murim world. Arc 3, A Rising Star Hunter. Taekyung suddenly found himself back in his virtual gaming capsule. Months had passed in Murim world, but only hours had gone by in reality. He was shocked to discover the capsule's power supply had been off the whole time. Confused, he checked the user guide but found no answers. Life must go on. Taekyung visited a hunter agency and got an offer from Mr. Choi of Peace Guild to join their first raid. In the dungeon, long story short, the squad reached the boss room. Something felt off, but the doors locked, trapping them inside. With no choice, everyone, including Taekyung, fought with whatever equipment they had. Overpowered by the boss, Taekyung thought all hope was lost. Then suddenly, a notification popped up. His character from Murim world had successfully synced with his real body. Now armed with his Murim skills and achievements, Taekyung turned the tide and defeated the boss with ease, leaving Mr. Choi in disbelief. After the raid, Mr. Choi offered Taekyung a place in the guild. Unsure about his newfound abilities, Taekyung took a reassessment test and was upgraded from F-class to C-class hunter. Feeling confident, he met Mr. Choi again. They agreed on a 1-week trial and headed to a dungeon together. In the dungeon, Taekyung's skills amazed Mr. Choi. However, Taekyung started dreaming about people from Murim world, affecting his performance. Mr. Choi postponed the recruitment and suggested Taekyung resolve his inner conflict first. Reluctantly, Taekyung decided to return to Murim world before continuing with Peace Guild. Arc 4, End of the War. The arc begins with Taekyung's squad carrying his unconscious body to the main force. At the same time, Taekyung logs back into Murim world and returns to his in-game body. Meanwhile, the war escalated. Hang San's leader entered the battlefield, prompting key figures from both clans to join, including the Grand Elder of Jin family. The Grand Elder overpowered Hang San's leader, but Taekyung suddenly exposed him as a traitor to Jin family. With his secret out, the Grand Elder ordered his forces to reveal themselves and all out to attack both clans. Wikyung declared an alliance between Jin and Hang San to fight this new threat. The battle intensified. Many lives were lost, and the Grand Elder was gravely injured, losing an arm. After relentless attacks, he was finally defeated and killed. The war ended with Jin family's victory. Taekyung leveled up massively and uncovered vital information about the mysterious Dark Heavens.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, happy reading, and I'll see you in the next video.